Hello, hello again. Welcome back. So today will be brief. We'll just talk about five things you need to know about addiction. The first thing is a common term we hear very often. Excuse me. Where there is a will, there is a way. Because some of the excuses I hear are if all my friends smoke, I won't be able to sleep without smoking. Helps me to calm down. I won't have friends without smokes and so many other things. And for somebody who is addicted to work, it is like I'll be bored without working. I don't know what else to do with myself, and on like that. Regardless of what your excuse is, if you really have a strong will to quit, somehow, a way will open up. It's always been there. Chances are you weren't looking in that direction. So when you make that will and you're really rock solid on it that you want to quit, a way to get that done would always show up. The second one is mental illness and addictions go together more often than not. More often than not. Many times people take it to cope with mood swings. You take it to cope with addiction, depression. Someone is very anxious, needs to calm down, and a host of other things. Now, again, at best, it's a coping mechanism. It's not a treatment for any mental health disorder. Many times it will even further worsen things down the line because substances of abuse on their own have derogatory effects on the brain. So oftentimes if you are addicted to anything or any behavior, there's an underlying mental disorder that is yet to be diagnosed. So most times, in addition to what any other benefit you may get from the substance or the behavior or the lifestyle, it's also a means of you self-medicating your symptoms. The third thing I want you to know is that one can recover from addiction. If you go on the internet, you see before and after pictures of people, you see before and after testimonies of people, and you'll be blown away by how much recovery an individual is able to. There's no case that is so hopeless. If you're still here, if you're still breathing, if you can still watch this, I tell you, your addiction is not so far off the charts. So you can recover regardless of how bad it's seen now. It may take some work, not it will take some work, and many times a whole lot of work. But the effort would always be worth the result. Then the fourth one is you don't have to hit rock bottom for you to seek help. Because again, when I talk with people, their mindset is, oh, I'm still coping, I'm still functioning like a functional addict. I still go to work, I still have friends, I still run my business. My life is still at best regular like every other person's own. Now, rock bottom is relative. For some people, their rock bottom is an overdose and an eventual death. For some people, is jumping off the bridge in a bit by way of suicide attempt, and for some people, is a psychiatric admission that would be their definition of rock bottom. But really, you don't have to hit rock bottom for you to say, now I am ready to quit. Don't give yourself a set date for, okay, I'll quit next year, or maybe when I'm married and responsibilities of life demands that I don't smoke because I'm raising children, or maybe when my finances are much better, then I would not be so worried or stressed about money, and so on and so forth. Pushing it till then reduces the chances of quitting. Not that it makes it impossible, but it's like you're winding a rope around your wrist. The more layers you have, the more difficult it will be to unravel such. The more naughty, the more tricky it will be. So one doesn't have to hit rock bottom to decide to begin the journey towards recovery from addictions. And the final one is every single addiction begins with pain. It ends with pain. It ends with pain every single time. What do I mean by begin with pain? Ask any addict, why do you do what you do? Many times they need to sleep. So the question then is, why can't you sleep? What thoughts are so bothersome that keeps you up at night that you need a medication or you need a substance to be able to help you sleep? It helps them to socialize. And the other question is, what is broken your capacity to socialize? That drugs are the only ways you can make friends. or it helps them to cope with the thoughts in their head. The other question would be, what happened that you have so much thoughts that you can't cope with them except you numb them out? And so on and so forth. I'm yet to find an addict who doesn't have significant adverse childhood experience scoring. If you haven't watched that video on that asked the question of was your childhood traumatic, I think you should go check that out. That would explain what I mean by adverse childhood experience scoring. I'm yet to find one who doesn't have significant one. So the childhood was very painful. So many things was broken in their psyche. And then this is an adult whose inner child is still very broken, still very traumatized, is still in so much pain and demand drugs to cope. So until such pain are healed, or you get to the root of it, and you're able to heal, deal with such traumas till it becomes a distant memory in your past, then the trauma is not your identity. But for now, many times is the subconscious identity of such an individual. There's no sense of worth. Priorities are misplaced. The identity is off course, and so on and so forth. So it always begins with pain, and it ends with pain. What do I mean by ends with pain? Do we talk about the physical symptoms, weight loss, messes up their diet, messes up their sleep patterns, or do we talk about the psychological imprint, the fact that it damages the brain? Some people become psychotic, some people become paranoid, some people they lose ability to concentrate, or do we talk about what it does, the social complications, so to say, broken marriages, children who become victims of trauma because the father is addicted, and so on and so forth. It starts with pain, it ends with pain. So if you're someone who struggles with any form of substance or behavioral addiction, please reach out to someone who can be of help to you. Find a counselor, find a therapist, find books that explains how you can find your way to healing. You find videos on YouTube that will be able to help. By all means, if you have an access to groups like Alcoholic Anonymous, Narcotic Anonymous, many of those groups are even online. If such places are not available in your country of origin, if you go Google, you'll find so many of such groups online. Participation is completely free, and so on and so forth, and begin your journey towards wholeness and recovery. So I wish you the best. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.